Hello, hello, hello. Here we are, once again. Here I am, once again. I'm torn into pieces. Okay. Okay. Are we ready? Hold on, let me take a sip of tea. Ah! In 3, 2, 1. Hello. Here I am. Once again. Can I make the same joke twice? Don't know. So here we are. We're here to talk about fashion and style. And I want to address something immediately. That you might think that I'm only wearing one arm warmer because it is a fashion decision. And in fact, no, I just couldn't find the other one, and it's slightly too cold in my house. So I wanted to at least have one. But I've done this before as like a stylistic thought. Same thought. Excuse me. There's something caught in my throat. Okay. How are we feeling today? Welcome to this wonderful Wednesday. I don't think I've streamed on a Today's Wednesday, right? I suddenly doubted myself. Oh, I kind of wanted to light this candle. Do you think we still can? Is there still time? Have I lost my opportunity? I think we can do it, right? We'll all light the candle together. Fire and flames. Fire and flames. It's never too late to start. Yeah, see, look at that. Okay, I'm actually going to show you guys this candle holder. This is not fashion related. You know, if you're watching the VOD later, I'll put chapters in. But look, it's two frogs carrying each other. It's Friday? Are you sure? I don't know if I trust you. Why does time move so quickly? Today is Wednesday, isn't it? I think so. That's what they have told me. They being Father Time, you know? Today, I feel like today as a day went by really quickly. And I didn't quite have all of my notes in the way that I wanted them to be at the beginning of this day. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just work on it when I have some downtime at work. And then work was busy. And I actually like kind of had a lot to do today. But I did still have time to do what I wanted to do. So that is good. I have a lot to talk about today. And I'm just going to yap at you for the next amount of time. There's so much to do. There's always so much to do. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? It's like a compulsion at a certain point. You know what I mean? But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be talking about a subject that I care about very much, and that is personal style and aesthetic. And the one thing that I really wanted to do, and I didn't get a chance to, was I really wanted to go back into my like archive of very old images of me because my Instagram originally was just like outfit of the day photos, and so there's a lot of archive of like my style throughout the years, and I really wanted to like talk about that, but I just like did not get a chance to go back and like compile those images and my thoughts around them, but technically you could do that. My Instagram is like 10 years old, if not older than that. Actually, I think I made it like, because we're in 2026 now. I made it in high school, so it's over 10 years old. It might be like 15 years old. Anyway, so there's a lot of archives of Alex throughout the years. And you'll find that there's a lot of like shifts in my style over the years, and also like clearly a lot of experimentation with varying levels of success, but that's something that I definitely am going to hit on at a certain point. But I hope everybody's week is going well thus far. I am sending you good vibes. But Shall we not hasten? We shall hasten. We shall not haste. Wait. We shall not haste. Make haste. Like, I know what the word haste means, but is that a phrase? We shall not make. Anyway, hi Salim, hi Eggy, hi David. Welcome to the stream. I'm very happy to have you guys here with me. I'm very happy to be here. I'm going to start going through all of my notes. So basically, what my goal here is to get people thinking about their personal style and fashion, and just like in general, cultivating, I don't know. Gosh, sorry, I'm still in work mode. Get the office speak out of my brain, and like thinking about what it is you like and what you want to put out into the world. And just giving my own perspective and thoughts on that as somebody who's dressed alternatively for most of my life. I wore Lolita fashion to high school, and like wore other like experimental alt fashions, I guess, for a long time. And you know, I dress like this now, and I've gone through a lot of different styles, and it's something that's always been like a high priority for me and something that I've given a lot of thought to. Obviously the things that I'm going to talk about and like a lot of the examples and stuff that I'm going to share later are my personal taste, and also just like types of styles that I really like, and for the most part are kind of feminine leaning. And I would love, I'll give this disclaimer now, I would really love for clothes to not have gender associated with them. I think it's kind of silly, but unfortunately they do. And in, you know, I'm going to be speaking in terms of like societal, what is, things that are accepted is the societal norm when I talk about like feminine and masculine fashion. But that doesn't necessarily mean that one is associated with, you know, exclusively one gender or anything like that. But it just makes it easier. That's like what labels are for, right? It's communication. It doesn't necessarily reflect what I wish were true. I'll tell you that. But alas, here we are. We must survive in the world that we exist in. So I have all of my notes here. I'm making sure. We do live in a society. We do, don't we? Hi, Gruff. How are you? Welcome aboard. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Oh, also, I had asked on Instagram. I don't think I had asked. No, I asked on Twitter too. Like what questions people had about the ideas around, excuse me, like creating outfits and personal style and fashion in general. And I had considered those when making my notes, so I hope that I answered most of those questions kind of like as we're going. But if people have questions, please put them in the chat. Please feel free to interrupt me at any point. This is not like a seminar. It's mostly just me like a stream of consciousness talking with guided notes along the way of things that I definitely knew I wanted to talk about and things that I want to share with everybody. I think if we have time at the end, we'll kind of do some like outfit building and kind of like show my thought process in a lot of that. But we'll see how long this goes and, you know, how invested in the conversation that we get. So when I was thinking about what is like the number one thing, because this is like, this is a 101 course. I literally just said it's not a seminar, but what is like the number one thing I think about that I think is important when trying to figure out what you even like, right? So I have a video where I talk about how to get started being an idol, and like my personal perspective on like what's important to focus on at the beginning. And I kind of realized that like my advice applies to pretty much everything, in that anytime you want to get into something, anytime you want to start doing something, you have to figure out why you like that thing. So like same thing with fashion. When you look at outfits, or you see people out on the street, or you see pictures on Instagram, or you're looking at your idols, or you're looking at character designs in a video game and you're like, oh, I really like the way this looks, you should be asking yourself why. Like, what is it that I like about this? And then like the next step after that is like, okay, and how can I apply that to my everyday life? Or not everyday life, like at cons or wherever you might want to be experimenting with the way that you look. And I think that's true for really any art form or any again, like hobby that you want to pursue is like this idea of constantly checking in with yourself of like, okay, what is it about this that I actually like? Because then you're going to have a greater understanding of like what your personal purpose is and what exactly you're going for. And oh, my note after that is try to kill the part of you that's afraid to stand out. So, especially for me, like I said, I'm really into alternative fashion. I'm really into maximalist fashion. I really like very detailed outfits and like over the top clothes. Even now, my style is a lot more toned down than it used to be. In that, somebody that I follow on Twitter made a really good point recently that like dark alternative clothes are a lot more accepted in the West than like pastel alternative clothes because they're kind of associated with like being childlike. So I generally dress a lot darker than I used to. Not completely. I still have like other styles I dress in sometimes, but this is like normally what I wear. And they tend to be less showy than other styles. And I think if you want to have fun with the way that you look, if you really want to express yourself, first of all, you have to accept that you're worth putting in the time, and you're worth like putting in the effort to put on a cool outfit or to feel like you can do cool things. You don't have to wait until your body looks a certain way. You don't have to wait until, you know, you reach a certain point in life. You know, once you reach X point, I'll be happy and I'll be able to do this. Like, you got to just start thinking that way now, and just accept yourself for who you are in this moment. And a part of that is killing the part of yourself that's afraid to stand out. And you know, it's very easy to look at your closet and be like, oh, I don't know when I have an occasion to wear any of these things. Waking up is the occasion. A big part of why I started dressing alternatively is I just started overdressing to events. So whether that's like classes in college or work or whatever. And like obviously certain jobs, you can do that more than others. But like I worked in an office at a tech company for a long time, where their office was a converted warehouse. But like I was showing up in skirts and heels every day. That was not the dress code. Most people wore leggings and a t-shirt every day. And people are like, I don't understand how you do this. I'm like, well, it's fun for me. And like for me, it's a big part of me feeling comfortable in my own skin. Something that girls who wear, or anybody that wears Lolita fashion talk about is like, you know, the big petticoats and all of the frills like feel like an armor. Like you're facing the world with this armor on, that you're able to feel stronger and like more yourself. And like it's a form of rebellion, right? Like the man wants you to assimilate, right? So thinking of it that way, and like every time you feel too insecure to do the things you actually want, the man is winning. Whoever you think the man is. I'll leave that up to you. Gothic girls are heart, cute girls are babies, so says society. Yeah, that is really difficult. I am the occasion. Exactly. Like, I used to joke when people are like, oh, what are you so dressed up for? And I'm like, well, I woke up today. And, like, that's worth celebrating. And, like, obviously it's more complicated than that. But, like, I remember there was one time we had, like, a Lolita meetup at the zoo. Was this when I was still... Doesn't matter where it was. It was somewhere. It might have been when I was in Arizona. I don't remember. But somebody was like... There was only like 3 of us, and somebody commented to us, oh, well, I know you can't just buy those clothes, so did you make them? And we were like, no, you actually can. Like, it's a very popular fashion. And they're like, oh, is there like a show? And I'm like, no, we just like looking this way because it's fun. And like most people will actually like accept that. Most people who are negative towards people who look a little bit different are frankly just like upset that they can't do it themselves. Like if you really unpack that feeling far enough, it kind of comes down to that. So those people just aren't even like worth your time. And most people, when you look different, and like are having fun and clearly like confident, most people are really drawn to that energy and will be very kind. I've noticed. Definitely feel that wearing clothes that I feel confident in helped with my anxiety a lot. Yeah, it makes you feel comfortable in your skin. Whereas like trying to hide in like big clothes and comfortable clothes can like make you feel like not as good. And it's really hard because there is a line of like trying to meet a beauty standard and trying to take it like you're not good enough as you are. The point is that like if you feel like your peak self in like big sweatpants and a big t-shirt, then like that's great and like beautiful too. But if you want to be wearing a big poofy skirt or, you know, a cool button up or whatever, you should feel empowered to do that. I think both have their place. If you want to wear pajamas to the grocery store, like that's sick and also kind of a form of rebellion. But like the point is that like you should feel the autonomy to have that choice. And so that is like step one is what do I like? What am I like even going for here? And you know, in a similar way, again, like I said in my sort of how do you start becoming an idol, it's like it's consumption, right? It's looking at people on the street. It's if you follow idols, like looking at idols on Instagram. It's like scrolling in a healthy way to say like, okay, I really like this. Oh, I don't really like this aspect of that. And kind of like drawing from a lot of different places to make it your own. The number one thing to do is to wear what you love. Loving sweatpants is cool. Loving leather pants is cool. Whatever you like. Exactly. And a friend of mine had commented on my post about like questions or things that people had said of like, how do I break out of this like cycle of only dressing comfortably instead of wearing the clothes I really want to? And I think that's really difficult. You know, when I was dressing up in the office every day at a previous job, somebody asked me like, how do you have the energy to do that? And the true answer is I really didn't have a choice. I like intentionally had built my wardrobe in that my options were to like wear my nice clothes or literally go to work in my pajamas. And I just like wasn't really willing to do that personally. Like I didn't own sweatpants. I didn't own like exercise clothes. I didn't own like yoga pants. Like the things that I would wear to exercise were like a borderline stage wear or just like pajamas in my house. So those things just weren't options for me. So the only choice I had was to wear my nice clothes. And so I had to get up every day and do that. And I kind of got in the habit of it. That being said, at my current job, I tend to like not dress up as much. But that being said, you know, in terms of if you work in an office, you kind of know how it goes. That there are varying levels of effort being put in, and I still feel like I'm at like the upper end of that most of the time. I'm not wearing this to work, but I am wearing, you know, some of my more like J fashion-y type clothes. Clothes really make you feel some type of way. I have a background in theater, and the difference between rehearsals with costumes and without is huge. Yes, exactly. And that's actually like really interesting that you bring that up because one of my notes is like, a lot of times you kind of just have to treat yourself like you're a video game NPC, not NPC, like a playable character, and you're on the character creator screen when you get up in the morning. You have a world of choices in front of you, and you get to decide what character you're going to be that day. And it doesn't have to be the same character every day. Obviously, when you're like building a wardrobe, it's good to like be consistent so that you can build that wardrobe. But I have 4 different wardrobes in my closet, okay? I've got like the punk kid, I've got the like cottagecore fairy, I've got you know, more grungy stuff, and you know, I've got my cosplay things, especially people who are into cosplay, who are into Ren Fair. Like you can wear those clothes in your daily life. I'm not saying you have to like go full Ren Fair fit, but like you can incorporate those types of things into daily wear that feels comfortable. I used to buy cosplays and like wear cosplays where I wanted the individual pieces to be able to wear in my normal life. A lot of that was like jackets. Like I bought like a Bang Dream cosplay because I wanted to cosplay Ron, but also because I wanted her jacket just to be able to wear in real life. And nobody is stopping you from doing that at any age, at any type. So that's like another way that you can ease yourself into, you know, you really like that character. Why don't you just like dress like you're in that world? You know what I mean? Whether it's like Genshin Impact or Persona. There's a huge world of opportunity out there, and you know, depending on where you live and sort of what your day-to-day life looks like, there's obviously those kind of limiters, but limits breed creativity. So don't let them stop you completely, but find creative ways around it. Of course, you cosplayed Ron. That's just so. I'm basically cosplaying Ron right now. I love her so much. Her story was really good. I was really into Bang Dream for a period of time. I love my like mobile rhythm game time between Project Sekai and Idolmaster Cinderella Girl Starlight Stage. I was like really into Bang Dream. I cosplayed Ron a few times. I feel like actually that cosplay, it's a really interesting point, was like one of the first times I started leaning into the more like punk black and red type of vibe that I really wanted to explore for a long time. I used to wear a lot of pink and lace and like fluffy. My YouTube studio thing started being weird. No. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. No wonder I didn't see a Twitch notification. Something told me there was something special happening today, and then I gasped. Yeah, well, I'm mostly streaming on YouTube now. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with my Twitch yet. Because I do think I want to stream games again, but I don't know that my computer can really handle it. So I've been thinking about that. Or like if I want to do art streams again, I don't know if I want to do that here. Would love input if you guys have thoughts around that, but you kind of froze, but it's good now. Okay. We're all good. The Verizon outage is not affecting us in any way. Although it's funny because like I haven't had any problem. Obviously Verizon's not my internet provider, but let me tell you, I'm putting the links in the places. But I'm glad you're here. Also, hi, I've been a fan of you for a little bit since discovering Kaiga Idols. Hello, welcome in. New PC fundraiser. It's on the list this year. I have to do some stuff with my car first. I've been on a long journey with my car. I have to sort that out first, and then right after that, my like next big thing is a new PC. My PC is quite old. She has served me quite well. It is still doing like okay, but I think modern games were struggling a little bit. But anyway, I knew this would happen. Right. Obviously, you're not going to wear a ball gown to the grocery store, but I think that you should. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of mindset of like, and why shouldn't I? You know what I mean? You can make a throne for the PC, possibly. Maybe. I thought about making like a throne for like my birthday, possibly. I don't know. I feel bad asking for something like that. Even though I don't feel bad when other people do it. Everybody's just, I'm just like, everybody needs their money right now. You don't need to give it to me. I'm okay. You know, I am not, I'm okay, you know. I feel bad asking for that kind of thing from people, but I don't know what that is. So maybe I should unpack that a little bit. I feel like I'm just as worthy of it as anybody else, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, is now the time? Throne has always been wonky for me. It scares me. I've never used it before. I've never bought anybody anything on it either, but it seems really convenient for like, here's a list of things that I have been wanting to get if anybody feels like it, you know. I also feel too bad to make that kind of thing, but also buy things for other people. It's a fine line for sure. I think right now if I am very candid, is that I'm really focused on getting my album done, because it's been such a work in progress and people have contributed a lot to that I am like, okay, I can't ask for anything else until I fulfill my end of this deal. So that is probably, I think, what my biggest hesitation on doing something like that is. But maybe after, because hopefully that'll be soon, more info to come. I think it's a good idea. You don't have to promote it more so as a visual wish list. I feel the same way, but it's neat seeing other people's wish lists. Yeah, that's true. I will say, even though I work with computers in my day job, I will not be building a computer. I will be buying a pre-build. Okay, I work with computers in my daily life. I don't want to do it in my personal life either. Album? Yes. It's something that's been in works for a few years, and was supposed to come out last year. But I'm feeling really, really good about it, so I'm really excited to get it in your guys' hands. I've made a lot of progress in the last few weeks, so hopefully I will have. I like refuse to announce a release until I'm like done with it. That is like one of my biggest tips as like an online creator, or just like a person making anything. Do not announce a release date until the thing is done. Because inevitably something's going to happen, or that's just like my personal, because I know the way that I am. As soon as like I announce something, I'm just asking for trouble. I don't blame you. The cost of RAM and stuff is insane. It is. And also, I just don't want to do all the research for what's new and like what's the right thing. I don't want to put it all together. I just want to buy a pre-build, and pre-builds are really nice at this point. Like, you can get a decent pre-build and I can upgrade parts. Like, that's something I can do later, but my brain is having trouble in terms with you being a pre-builder. I need a second to process that. My coworker makes fun of me all the time. We were talking about, this is so not related. We were talking about like the Switch and the Steam Deck, right? And I was like, oh, well, I think I'm probably going to buy the Switch too eventually. And he was like, you should just buy a Steam Deck. You can do the same thing. And I'm like, well, I want to play Nintendo games. He's like, well, you can get it to play Nintendo games. You just have to do blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, I'm buying technology at home, and if it doesn't work, if I have to do 10,000 steps to make it do the thing I want to do, I don't want to do that. I'm doing that at work. I don't want to do it at home. I want to plug it in and it works. That's what I want. It's not like a hobby for me. Not anymore. It used to be, but at this point, I just want it to work. Just like Todd Howard. Shh. Todd Howard, when I get you. Just like I never put a release date till I know exactly. I usually say nothing until everything is done. Yes. Right. I actually really want to do a Mario Party stream with like other idols. So if you could think of if you guys know people that you would like to see, that'd be really fun. By someone I no longer talk to, y'all am I cooked? Maybe. It's possible. For real, I love plug and play. Right. I just want it to work. I don't even like modding games anymore. Well, I've like never really modded games. I just want to have the experience. I get why people do it, and I love that it's there for other people, but for me, I do feel like as I get older, I do appreciate things working. Right. I don't want to sit there troubleshooting things. I just want it to work. Okay. All right. So we talked about this a little bit, but what is step one of figuring out personal style? I should probably keep this on stream health. Stream chat is not connected. Why does it say that? Put the game in, that's all right. I want to mod Skyrim, but like not the weird one struggle. Yeah, I do feel you. Why does YouTube hate me right at this time? I will trust that if something happens, you guys will just tell me, and I'm just not going to trust what this page is telling me. Weird. Like, I went to look at stream health and it said not connected, but you guys are still talking to me. I don't know what that is. But anyway. And now it says excellent or excellent. Okay. You've decided you want to upgrade from nerdy t-shirts and jeans, which could be really cool, but you decided that you want to do something else. What do? It's fine on my end. Great. YouTube hates all of us. And you know what? That's so fair. And they're right for that. Seek inspiration. Don't worry about what you can pull off, okay? But instead, what are you trying to communicate with the way that you look? It's sort of like what it comes down to. To me, I just like looking really cool. And that could be a lot of different things. That could be looking like this. Again, it could be cottagecore fairy. I think that looks cool. I just like looking cool. I like presenting that way. I like dressing up. A lot of times my motivation for that is like I like showing other people that they can do it too. I think it's really encouraging when you see people out and about just like being themselves. I think it encourages you to go do it. So like that's a really big part of it for me. I think people get really stuck in this idea of like, what can I pull off? Or, oh, I wish I could look that way, but I could never pull it off. That's not real. It's not a real thing. It is all about confidence. I also have a rant about clothes that are flattering. I think that's also kind of fake. But I get, again, we live in a society. And I get that, like, you want things that are, like, socially acceptably flattering. That's understandable, but know that that's not your only option. There's a lot of, especially, like, very eccentric fashions that, like, kind of rebel against that also. So it's just, like, worthy of making that effort. Back in high school and college, I would just browse the streetwear subreddit for info. Yes, and I'm going to talk about the place that is the combination of heaven and hell, Pinterest, in a little bit. Thrift store after you find your inspo, low commitment and cheap. Yes. Yes, see, you guys already know what's up. Cybergirl, what? Hello. You showed up right at the right time. I'm making sure everything is okay. Okay. You're telling me that I can dream? Yes, you can dream big. Big sneakerhead in high school. I feel like I did know that about you. How are you? It's so good to see you. I lost my train of thought. Where did it go? Come back to me. Yes. Okay. So seeking a form of inspiration, this is a good segue into the idea of like experimentation, right? Clothes are really expensive right now, especially if you're a cosplayer. If you can cosplay and you can sew and alter cosplays, I really encourage you to consider altering clothes and modding clothes, going to the thrift store, seeing the potential in something, being like, oh, this is kind of similar to something I saw on Pinterest or on Reddit or whatever, Instagram. But I think if I add, and I have like kind of some examples of things that I've done, this to it or whatever, it's really creative, it's really fun. And the stakes are really low if you're buying things secondhand, cutting things apart and whatever. You're not investing $40 into a piece. It's good to do that every once in a while, but obviously you can't build your entire wardrobe out of $40 to $60 pieces. So thrifting things, buying things secondhand online. I love going to the thrift store. I actually kind of hate buying things secondhand online because I want to like feel it. I want to look at it. I want to put it on. Although a lot of my thrift stores, you can't try things on anymore, which sucks. But can we get it? Oh, you know, it's funny because this isn't what I wore to work today. And I was like, I guess if I'm going to do a fashion stream, I got to like put a piece on. But like this is a... this is from Noemi, which is a Japanese brand that I really like that mostly sells like JIK fashion. But every once in a while they do like a black and red, more punk leaning thing. I have a skirt from them that is like one of my favorite pieces I have now. And I have my little sword earrings. I'm going to show you guys my Pinterest board for fashion, and this will all make sense. I'm planning on going to the thrift store after this stream. Hell yeah. I just wear a tank top or t-shirt and shorts or leggings to the thrift store and try it on. Honestly, I do that too now. And I think that that's so fun. Yeah, I really like them. And like, this is so comfortable, but it's cute. It's possible to be comfy and cute for sure. No fitting room. No problem. The aisle is my fitting room. And I'm going to make it everyone's problem. But the main thrift store that I go to is always so busy that like everybody's so focused in on their task that I don't think anyone really cares, if I'm honest. But thrift stores are also really good, not just for like, you know, shirts and pants and dresses and whatever, but also like shoes and accessories and things like that. Like there's so many good things that are just so cheap. Like it's more expensive than it used to be, but it's way less expensive than buying things new, and a lot of times the things are a lot higher quality. I kind of have a section here about taking care of your clothes. Something that I look for more than anything else when it comes to clothes is what material they're made out of. So many clothes, even firsthand clothes, even from like kind of nice brands, are made of really bad material that like is gonna fall apart the second time you wash it. It's, you know, aside from the ethical issues of buying from like Shein and other fast fashion brands, those clothes just are not going to last you at all. For the most part, even if you know, wash them with care and whatnot. But like this is like a cottony jersey material, but it's like really thick. And like the fabric is substantial. It's not super thin. It's not super polyestery. I love natural fibers. It's like what's comfortable to be in. It, if you're wearing a full polyester outfit, you're just wearing a bunch of plastic and you're going to get hot and you're going to feel horrible and you're just going to sweat, but then your sweat's not going to go anywhere and then you're going to get cold. It's just bad. Okay. Look for natural fibers as much as possible. So like a lot of times when I'm searching at the thrift store, I'm literally just like looking for fabric and colors that I like and then pulling them out and seeing if it's a style that I like. A lot of times, especially for me, for a lot of the styles that I enjoy wearing, like that is a good method, because usually brands that take the time to make things out of fabrics that are like worth making something out of are going to be really well designed also. Macklemore made thrifting expensive. I think it was like upcyclers who made thrifting expensive, unfortunately. But also, if you spend $3 on a shirt, you're going to be a lot more inclined to like feel a little experimental with it and see if you could sew something cool out of it. At least a blend, yes, exactly. I love this. I love this. I love that we're all doing this. My next note, it's so funny. It says, understanding your body, go on a rant about historical undergarments and structure versus changing your body to fit clothes. So this is like a brief point, but I think when we're talking about presentation, I think it's really important that the problem is not your body, the problem is the clothes, okay? I'm really into historical fashion. It's like a kind of a big hobby of mine, and how fashion has changed over the years. And within the last 100 years, getting rid of like what we wear under clothes almost entirely has caused this shift in, well, now your body has to look a certain way for clothes to look a certain way, whereas for hundreds of years people were changing what they were wearing under their clothes, like padding things out and changing the shape of corsets and things like that, to achieve whatever the fashionable silhouette was, instead of like forcing your body to look a certain way. And that's still applicable today. So like wearing good undergarments, like things that make you feel good, that are like structured and take care of your body, will make clothes look better too. It's not necessarily about wearing like shapewear to look a particular way, but it is about like figuring out, how to make clothes sit on you in a way that makes you feel like your best version of yourself. So that is something to consider when talking about fashion and whatnot, is that like it's very easy to think like, oh, I'm the problem, the clothes are the problem. And getting the clothes to be correct on your body. Listen, if I could wear a corset every day, I would. Modern clothes just aren't built for it, unfortunately, because I, as a person who has a lot of back problems, it's actually quite nice to have the back support. And corsets aren't supposed to hurt you if they fit you right. They're quite comfortable, and that's why women wore them for hundreds of years. But anyway, that's not the rant for today. But the same thing goes for bras and underwear. Like you can get stuff that fits you well and makes you feel like you can hold your posture, and clothes are always going to look better when you're able to do that. I follow this alternative guy on IG who basically emphasized knowing your body type when going into buying your corset. Yeah, 100%. And the same thing goes for masculine bodies too. Like it's, wearing a tank top under shirts so that, it smooths out the top layer. It's, layering clothes properly. It helps them last a lot longer too. Mass production of clothes has done so much harm. It has. It's really true. I am corset pilled. It's true. I really do love them. I mostly have like Ren Fair ones. I have yet to invest in like a good fitting like undergarment corset, but if you're wearing like, for example, if you're, an AFAB person and you're wearing like a bra that is like a bandeau or a sports bra that like doesn't give you good posture and like isn't holding things like in a way that's going to make you feel good about it, versus something that has more structure, that's more comfortable and smooth fitting and everything, like your clothes will look better over them and make you feel a lot more confident. And so like those are things worth investing in. I'm waiting for a corset to come in the mail literally right now for a cosplay. I love that. But the thing that helps me the most when I'm creating an outfit is literally I will think about like what character am I playing today? Whether again, it kind of comes back to this idea that you're in a video game, you're creating a playable character. You're in the character creator every morning deciding what do I want my hair to look like? What character am I playing? So like a lot of times for me, it's like today I'm like an RPG vampire. Today uh I'm gonna use vampire again, like vampire librarian. I'm you know, a urban fantasy fairy today. You know, like just thinking about like these characters that you're embodying like helps you create a theme to an outfit and like build an outfit because you're thinking of yourself as this like avatar to project something onto. Takes notes. My sisters are also into historical fashion and they hate corsets, so I hear both sides. Well, they're not consuming the right content, I'll be honest with you. But hey, everybody's got a point of view. Vampire Librarian is one of my favorites, I'll be real. Especially because, like, I have these big glasses. And I have to wear them when I go to work because I stare at a computer all day, so wearing contacts is really hard. You know, cute little vest, long skirt, something, you know. What character you are feeling like this day, basically. Today, I feel like I don't know, with my sword earrings, I'm kind of giving, like, well, maybe not. With the other sweater, I was wearing a little bit more than this outfit, but it's kind of like medieval meets 2006 mall goth, which is, like, I think my ideal fashion at this time. The thing that I like wearing the most is like slightly Ren Fairy fantasy wear meets 2000s emo kid, wherever that crossover is. The outfit that I just posted a reel in and then also posted like a post of that was like very much the inspiration. Was I wanted to look like a rogue but also sort of like have those emo goth influences, and again, like thinking of it as like a character that I'm dressing up as, sort of. It's not cosplay, but because you're just cosplaying yourself. But again, it kind of like helps you be like, okay, well, what would a wizard in a tower wear? What would he look like? Taking inspiration from Howl or Lord of the Rings or, you know, whatever that might be. This outfit is very Alex themed, right? And that's the thing. Is like I feel like I've curated this style that's like people are like, oh, that's so Alex core, and I'm like, that makes me really happy because it feels like I'm doing a good job of figuring that out. Your mag outfit is incredibly emo red bear, yeah. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Okay, I have visuals. Get rid of this. Let me make sure that my stream still exists. It looks like it does. We're doing great. We're killing it. Dare I say we are killing it. You're gonna get me looking like Gandalf for real? Do it. Although, I mean, Gandalf's got some drip, right? We talking Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White? Something I will say is a lot of these examples, a lot of the things that I reference when building style are Japanese fashion, Asian fashion in general, because in my opinion, Japanese specifically, but you know, also Chinese and Korean and other Southeast Asian cultures really have perfected the idea of building a coordinate. And what I mean by that is like coordinating an entire outfit versus I think a lot of Western style and fashion kind of centers around like one or two really cool pieces and then just sort of like doing whatever they can to emphasize that piece. Whereas I think a lot of Eastern subcultures really get this idea of like building a theme and, you know, building outfits around that. And so I think it's really good to learn like the rules of coordination and figuring out like what looks good, and then again sort of taking it to reinvent it as your own thing. Oh, gray for sure. Mighty Python and the Holy Grail Black Knight. Yes. Honestly, kind of a style icon. Gandalf style is like wearing a summer dress, but in winter. It's true. There actually is a person. I wish I knew their handle. They exist on TikTok and Instagram. At least that's where I've seen them, where they do like modern, medieval wear, but it's like it's a like I think they're AMAB, like a masculine presenting person who incorporates like shoulder armor and makes it look cool in like kind of streetwear, or like how to make your outfits and accessorize them to look more like old fantasy historical, but still again like he's wearing jeans and a t-shirt but accessorizing it in a way to make it look that way. But that's true about Asian fashion versus Western. Yeah, it's something I think about a lot because like these photos that I have, it's very clearly like what's trending right now. That's the other thing is like it's very easy to get caught up in trends. I like a lot of trends. Like, I don't know, this is very like I bought this year in Japan. Like what's trendy, but like you can take trends and you know, pick and choose the things that you really like that you know you're going to wear for a really long time. As far as color palettes go, it's always a combination black, white, or gray. The most color I add on is usually a shade of red. Wondering what that means of my style. Well, I'm going to talk about that. So there's this idea of neutrals. Here, let me switch my screen here real quick. I have a bunch of okay. So I have this page of a bunch of different outfits, and we're gonna kind of like walk through them and like figure out what we like about them, what works. Something that I really recommend for people who are kind of new to building outfits is this idea of like building off of a color. So black, white, and brown, sort of brown cream colors are all neutrals. So if you build a color on top of them, they won't clash for the most part. You can get into like how different tones interact with each other, but for the most part, it'll be fine, right? So most of these outfits are a color with black, white, or cream or brown. So it's sort of a good way to get used to building outfits and not having to worry about clashing, or like no matter what, if you're wearing all shades of green, it will look good. Do you know what I mean? Like these are green, we've got some black and gray, blue and white. This like black and brown and white thing we've got going on in the middle, green, browns and white and cream, red obviously is my preference also. I tend to wear a lot of black and red. A lot of my wardrobe is black and red, and I think that's part of what has built this style that people kind of associate with me, because I buy a lot of these same colors, and so it's very easy for me to mix and match things because for the most part they're the same colors. I kind of have red, green, pink, and like some blue items. Like that's kind of, those are kind of the main colors that most of the things in my wardrobe are. And then I have like a handful of, you know, black, white, cream, brown, that then I can mix and match with any of those things. And that's kind of the thing when you're building a wardrobe, is like finding pieces that you can mix and match in a lot of different ways. A lot of these images are from the same store. So they're kind of showing how you can style their specific clothes in a lot of different ways, but I think it's like a good reference. But like there's a lot of different silhouettes here, there's a lot of different styles, there's a lot of different options when it comes to figuring out how to do things. But I think like the monochrome approach, you know, oh, I really am drawn to red, or I'm really drawn to purple. So if I buy a lot of things in those color schemes, it's pretty hard to mess up, quote unquote, and feel like, you know, you're clashing in some way. Which even, again, the idea of like clashing, there's a way to do that that's really cool and like, again, sort of rebellious and going against this idea that everything has to be like aesthetically beautiful to be like worth your time. But that's like, you kind of have to know the rules to know how to break them. Do you know what I mean? In the middle, we got a bunch of these pants. Again, this is very trendy. So these are all like big, loose fitting pants. I'm literally wearing skinny jeans right now. follow your heart, do what makes you happy. I have some pants like this, and they are quite cool. But a lot of these things, like, you don't have to buy from this brand. I haven't linked them because also I don't remember what their name was. These were served to me on Instagram. And then some of these I took from Pinterest. It's not about buying the specific brand. Like, a lot of this stuff you can find at the thrift store. It's like, oh, I really like this sweater vest. The next time I'm at the thrift store, I'm going to look through the vests or the sweaters and see if there's something similar. God, looking at this is making me realize my heart yearns to be a Mori girl. I love Mori fashion. I really get it. It's very cozy, like long skirts, short skirts. Like, it's looking at it and being like, oh, I'm really drawn to this type of silhouette. I should try that, And that's kind of like how you go down the thought process. I love big pant. I do love big pant, but I do love skinny jeans, unfortunately. I like both. It depends on the day, for sure. Like this whole block of stuff here, I'm like, I would wear every single one of these outfits. But I'm red-pilled, for sure. But I really love brown, too. I'm a big brown person. We got these Mori outfits over here. So again, I feel like these kind of push against this idea, especially, again, if you're trying to present more feminine. You kind of end up trying to get this hourglass shape. But there are fashions that kind of push against that, where you have this more boxy, like comfortable. Like, again, it's not about trying to look flattering. It's like looking pretty. It's like looking whimsical. Having this big shape, regardless of what your body shape is. These girls are quite small, obviously. You can pull it off. It's just about what the shape of the clothes are, not what the shape of your body is. And some people find these types of styles really nice, too, because it's like not really showing the shape of your body, but it's still dressing cute and fun. Like, I really like these little patchwork. It's a lot of layers. It's a lot of mixing and matching and experimenting. I have some examples here of like Lolita fashion and Jiraike, and Ryo Sangata. This is kind of like Tenchi Kaiwai leaning, and different, body shapes, and, cool fashion is for everyone, for sure. But one thing that I kind of wanted to mention, and this is something that I learned from Lolita, and you'll see that all these girls have this in common, is that, like, something that separates just wearing clothes versus having a styled outfit is styling, right? So I could wear this shirt, which is cool, and not really have any accessories on, and just jeans and some sneakers. And, like, that's not a bad outfit, but if you want it to be a fit, you throw a necklace on, you throw some earrings on, maybe. I have a bunch of rings. You throw some cool shoes on. Shoes and socks. I stand by this. Shoes and socks make an outfit. Having, like, coordinating socks and shoes to whatever you're wearing. Not to say you have to have 10,000 pairs of shoes. I wear a lot of black, so a lot of my shoes are black or red, or brown. Actually, those are the colors, black, red, and brown. But not just wearing the same, like, flat pair of Vans every day with every single outfit, especially if you're trying to dress like this. Having, like, coordinating styles of shoes, replacing laces on sneakers with ribbon is, like, a really good way to upgrade shoes to, like, make it an outfit. It kind of, that's one of those things that changes it from just wearing clothes to, like, looking like a cartoon character / pause, like, in a good way. I think a lot of these look comfy maxing. I love comfy maxing, truly. I think a lot of Lolita adjacent styles are more about clothes than the person. Like, multiple people will look more similar. Yes and no. Like, these are very, like, again, I'm kind of picking, like, entry levels into all of these fashions. It gets more complex. There are people who are really experimental with a lot of them. But there is sort of a level of, like, are you wearing the clothes or are the clothes wearing you? And I think that's very possible. I think all of these people are really wearing their clothes, and, like, exhibiting, still letting themselves and their personality show a little bit. But, like, this outfit, white, black, white shoes, like, really makes it look really cohesive. She's got pink shoes here. Now think about, like, if these girls were wearing this outfit and this dress and then, just had, like, their gym shoes on. Again, it's fine. There's nothing like wrong with it. But if you're looking for ways to like make it really stand out and feel like a really cohesive outfit, having some ruffly socks, having some like long socks or tights or something like that, especially again, like if you're leaning the more femme route, even for male presenting fashion. So like if you're wearing big jeans and like you've got a brown sweater on and you've got brown socks and then like some cool shoes, it really makes it feel like you put a lot of intention into it. And really like the effort is what most people notice, even though they wouldn't necessarily phrase it that way. Like, you know, there's a lot of effort put into this. She really thought about the leg warmers and this little like garter and the way that all of these things are layered. There's a lot of intention put behind it and thinking about like what's going on. Or you can go more effortless. Like this is clearly a set that somebody sold and they just have some cool shoes on. And that makes it like automatically a cool fit. It doesn't have to be maximalist. Again, that's just sort of like what my preference is. My sack game is non-existent. I will say for me, it's something I think about a lot, especially because I wear a lot of short skirts. And so my socks are showing all the time. But if you're wearing long skirts or like pants and things like that, obviously it matters a little bit less. But I think it really does make a big difference. In the same way that like, you know, I was asked about dressing more androgynously or like, you know, trying to look feminine without fully wearing like, you know, girls' clothes or whatever that might be. And so much of it is accessorizing, in my opinion. So again, like societally, certain accessories are very female and certain accessories are very like masculine and male. I think a lot of these outfits could lean masc or femme depending on how you style them. So like, especially like these ones in the middle, like this outfit, you know, you have curled hair and like a bow around the neck and some earrings in, and like it leans a lot more like cute schoolgirl versus like, I don't know, you wear like a big pendant necklace and like some little stud earrings and it's like a little bit more mask. You can still accessorize, like there are like masculine accessories like leather bracelets and things like that. I think that like you should feel happy to step outside of that and like experiment again with that as much as you want. But like if you're trying to present a certain way, there's like, I think most outfits can present either way. Same thing with this. So like this outfit could lean either way depending on how you style it. So like your existing clothes, I think, can look either way. Having like a sweater that has like a little ruffle on it or, you know, again, like bows and things like that, like help push it one way or another. I have a silver pendant with a blue on the center. I wear it almost daily, but I tend to forgo when I wear warmer colors. Yes. But like something like that. So let's say you're wearing an outfit with multiple colors in it. Like you could wear blue and red. I wouldn't wear white, maybe like cream. Maybe, no, not cream, maybe black. But like, you know, you've got a sweater with a few different colors in it and you've got, you know, red and blue and green and a bunch of colors. And then you wear a necklace that has blue. And then you have, you know, maybe you have pants that have like a slight texture to them or a print or like a, you know, like a plaid or a tartan that also has some of those colors that are pulling in. And so if you have like one main piece, I wish I had actually a good example. So I have this is also an example of something I've modified, but like this top thing has like blue and pink and like some purpley colors. So like I could style this a few different ways. I could wear like a brown skirt with it, or I could wear a pink skirt with it because I could pull the pink from the print. Pulling like, okay, I know I want to wear this piece. How can I style it? What colors are in here? Do they match any of the colors that I already have in my closet? I know that something like a neutral under this would probably look good. So if I wore like a cream sweater or like a cream blouse, that would look quite nice, or, you know, white or whatever. Oftentimes I think white looks a little too stark, so I tend to go for like off-whites. But that's just, again, my personal preference. And then like, you don't want to wear too many colors typically, but like, you know, pulling from one piece so that you can wear your blue necklace with something that's red. Like there is a way to do that styling wise, if that makes sense. But this top is like a, here, I'll switch back to talking. is like a little like corset top thing. That actually was a dress that used to fit me and no longer does, but I really love the print and I really love the way that it fit. So I didn't want to get rid of it. So what I did, because I am so passionate about upcycling clothes, and customizing things because it just makes them so much cooler and unique too, is I took the back of it and I made it lace up. So like this type of style, and also this is why historical clothes are really cool because they're a lot more adjustable for the fluctuations of your body. Oh my god, especially like as you age and whatnot. So I made it lace up on the back. So what I did is I just I think there was a zipper here before and I cut it out, or I seam ripped it out and then just like sewed these edges, and I literally hand stitched all of these eyelet holes in a matching thing. It was not that difficult. I looked up a tutorial for how to do it. It did take forever. I will tell you that. These are small and there are many of them. It did take forever, but I've worn this so many times and it let me get the wear out of this again. And it's really fun. And so like, this isn't a foolproof method. There's sort of like a limit to what this is able to accomplish in terms of if something doesn't fit quite right. But at the same time, it makes it so that I can wear it for a lot longer, and it makes it a little bit more unique. I can switch out this ribbon and kind of change out the style. If you get like an eyelet punch, which I now have one, I just haven't really used it very much, you can do that instead of the hand stitching. I like the way hand stitching looks. It's very like endearing to me. So it doesn't bother me that it's like not perfect. And I was learning, and so it's on the back too. So if I really hated it, it's like if I don't look at it, it doesn't exist. And now I get to wear that piece a lot more. Another example that I have in a very different vein is this My Chemical Romance shirt that was just like a regular t-shirt, but I really wanted to customize it in a few different ways. So although this bow came untied, I will tell you, I literally just cut holes in this shirt and like added on the sleeve here like this little lace up detail. I usually tie this in a bow, like so, although you can't really tell, but it's there. And then I did the same thing on the other side, but on the sleeve. I just washed this shirt and I don't take the ribbons out to wash it, which is not ideal, but I just can't be bothered, and that's fine. And so the ribbons get all tight instead of laying out. But like, I added this little detail and then I tie the bow at the end. These are just cut holes in the t-shirt. I did not sew up like the edges so that it doesn't fray, because in my opinion, even if it does kind of fray or rip, that's cool and like looks like the style anyway. So especially if you're kind of leaning in this alt direction, it doesn't need to be perfect, because if it was perfect, it wouldn't look as fitting, in my opinion. But some fabrics too, like this is a cotton, probably a cotton blend if I had to guess. Yeah, well, actually 100% pre-shrunk cotton. So something like this is not going to fray, really, like a lot of other fabrics would. So it doesn't need to be cut that way. And then I literally just stuck a bunch of safety pins in it. I cut the front of it and put safety pins there. And now I have a shirt that's like different than others. I kind of wanted to do more to this. I wanted to add some more stuff. But that's the thing, is I can always do that at another time. I will say, even like this top, right? Like I have the skirt part of it that I've been meaning to turn into like a different skirt. And I haven't done that. I have like quite a few projects like that. And I don't enjoy machine sewing, so it always takes a while because I tend to hand sew a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of options out there, because like if we're talking about, we're looking at some of the things that are on here. A top like this, you buy a tank top and crop it. You know what I mean? You can just cut the bottom of it, sew a little hem on there. There are 1,000 YouTube tutorials. Like, you're able to learn these skills. And once you start learning them, they're really, really good skills to have. Or You could even just like, they have like fabric glue. You could just glue the bottom of it. That's an option. I'm trying to look on. None of these have like a ton of customizations. Like these Morike skirts, like you could just throw patches on a skirt that you thrifted, or like on a jacket. I do a lot of that too. Sewing lace on an existing skirt to make it more the style that you want, or whatever. Again, these are like very femme fashion focused. I will show you now my Pinterest. So I have a Pinterest board called Style Goals that I just pin cool clothes and cool fashion designs and things on that are like something that have some sort of motif that I am interested in and want to aspire towards. Pinterest is hit or miss. I will tell you there's a lot of AI images on Pinterest, but you can change the settings so that it shows you far less. Pinterest now requires them to like notify if something is AI modified, and you can remove seeing those on your feed. So I'll be honest, I'm not like 100% sure that none of these are AI, but I'm pretty sure that most of them are not. But yeah, so like all of these outfits are not necessarily something I would wear, but like the style is inspiring to me. Like I think I saved these pants because I was like, I bet I could make something like that someday. Not like quite like these, but like, again, I like the straps on them. I like all the studs on them. I like the top style quite a lot, and it inspires me to think about like, okay, if I look for something similar to that, or could I make something like that with something I already have? Obviously, the way that I look, I like a lot of the clothes that are at Hot Topic, for example. A lot of the clothes at Hot Topic are not super well made. I mean, some of them are, but you kind of have to pick and choose, but a lot of them are like sort of fake DIY looking, and you could just do it. You know what I mean? Easier said than done for sure. But like this style, I love this. I would love to have clothes like this. I don't really wear this shade of blue, but that's just because I don't really own it. But like this jacket has like these X's on it, or this lace up down the sleeve. I love lace up details. It's again the part of me that loves corsetry, I think, and like Ren Fair and fantasy wear. Like I just love. That's like one of my favorite motifs. Even like the back of this has the little lace up the sailor collar. That's not hard to do. It's hard when you're new to it, but like you do it a few times and you're like, oh, I understand how this works, you can add those types of things. These sort of chains, you can add onto that outfits yourself. Especially like alternative outfits DIY, I think makes them what they are. Nope. They look cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, Ron would wear it. I agree. But I have a lot of these like punk leaning things in here. I've got like some performance outfits, but also like a lot of these elf sort of this is probably AI, but elf looking outfits and like adventure wear. I really want to make a top like this. I really love this thing. I was like looking through here earlier to see what was on here, and I was like, oh yeah, I saved that because I think I could figure out how to do it. Like I don't know, I feel like I own this outfit. But that's the thing, is like a lot of this stuff like I wouldn't have even thought about if I wasn't seeking inspiration from there. Where do I get chains? I want to experiment with those. So I know a lot of old school punks and goth folk literally buy them from Home Depot. You can just go and buy chain like by the foot, and then put little clasps on the end of them, or literally just safety pin them onto your clothes. I have bought a skirt or two from Hot Topic, and sometimes they come with pre-made chains, and they're really cheaply made, so they break, and then I just safety pin them back together. I literally just like safety pin them onto my clothes. Sometimes other places you could get them, somewhere like Michael's in like the jewelry section are gonna have a lot of chains, and different sizes and like different Michaels now sells like heart chains, which are really cute, or like star chains. I think most of them are kind of small. Um, no, because that's the thing is like, you think about cool alt styles that have existed for a really long time. They didn't have places like Hot Topic or, you know, well, I was gonna say Forever 21, but that doesn't exist anymore. Or like, I don't know, these places that sell these like mass produced versions of these fashions, which is fine. And like, there's nothing wrong with getting your clothes from there, but they had to make them themselves. And so you were sourcing these things. They couldn't just Amazon a chain to their house. So they went and found it as cheaply as they could, because also they didn't have a lot of money. And a lot of people don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. Do you have a lot of money? Go to Home Depot, buy a chain. And then if you want to actually attach like hardware to them to wear them a little bit easier than just like safety pinning them on or something, you can get what are called jump rings, and attach them to clasps, so you can like put them on your belt loop, or you know, things like that, different types of fasteners. Right, exactly. I don't want to buy from Hot Topic. My info probably got leaked from shopping there. Yeah. And also, unfortunately, here's the thing is I like a lot of Hot Topic's accessories. I do buy them occasionally. I'm not perfect. And also, like, you know, you have to just do the best that you can. And like, when I'm buying things that are new, I do this with things that are secondhand too, but especially if I'm buying something new, I'm like really asking myself, like, am I going to wear this for a long period of time? Like if I'm buying earrings, I'm like, okay, I really love these. I know I'm going to wear them for like years. So I'm going to invest in it. Or like a skirt that's like exactly something that I'm looking for. That's like one thing. I will say Hot Topic also steals a lot of art from artists for like their t-shirts and stuff, and like a lot of their buttons. Some of them are artists that they've contracted. I don't really understand why they do that. But a lot of it is stolen art. So that is really unfortunate. Honestly, using small locks to attach the chains would look kind of sick. That would look really sick. I have a necklace that's like a lock with like a chain. You literally could just do that. Don't lose the key, maybe, but you could put the key on it. Like that would be really cool. Right, like you can buy from these stores occasionally. It's just about like being intentional with the things that you're putting your money into. I think these, not these sword earrings, but in fact a different pair of sword earrings that I have, I bought from Hot Topic, but I was like, I really like these and I know I'm gonna wear them a lot, and I do wear sword earrings all of the time. It also came like in a pack, so like there was like a bunch of other earrings that I also wear all the time. But I also really like scrolling on Pinterest. So like this is not the Labubu. This is like more ideas based off the things that I've already pinned. I also use Pinterest a lot for like painting inspiration and whatnot. Again, it's not like perfect. There's a lot of ads, but there's a lot of cool stuff on here, and being like, oh, like this is really cool, or I really like this piece. It's actually very similar to what I wore at MagFest. This is almost exactly what I wore to MagFest. That's really funny. Have not seen that image before. Like I really like this type of style too, like big chunky sweaters and like pleated skirts and things like that. Like this P Try It figure. But it's just like good again to like look at it and be like, what do I like? What am I drawn to? How can I incorporate that into my my style? Oh my god, this Christmas outfit. Whoa. That's so cool. It's not like you can smith the sword earrings as much as I'd love that to exist. These sword earrings I bought at the Ren Fair. And when I go to the Ren Fair, because I'm a big Ren Fair goer, shocking, I know, I am constantly like looking at accessories that I know I'm going to wear every day. All of these rings pretty much, I think except for these two. No, these three, so just these two. Are, well, the rest of them I bought at a antique store. But I buy a lot of that stuff at the Red Fair because it like kind of matches into my style and what I'm going for. A lot of like nature themes and, you know, like RPG sort of vibes. Antique stores are really great for buying not antique stores, antique malls. So the difference is like an antique mall has like a lot of booths from a ton of different vendors. A lot of them can kind of be overpriced, so don't like get suckered into spending way too much on stuff. But some of my like really cool, even like clothing pieces have come from antique stores in that way versus like a thrift store. I just love secondhand shopping. I think it's like a treasure hunt and it's just so much fun. Now I just kind of like want to scroll. Like, this is really cute. I've been getting a lot of makeup inspiration also lately. But like, what's stopping you from... I kind of want to look at... I was gonna say, like, I don't know. This is really cool and like mask leaning. Obviously you don't have to look like, you know, an aristocratic poet or whatever. Like, this is cool. I would wear these. For sure, for sure. Or like, you know, if you really like K-pop stars and like the way that they're styled, look at like their stage outfits. Like, oh, how can I make this wearable for me? Or like, what do I like about this? Do I like the silhouette of like the short skirt or the shorts and then like a big sweater on top? Or do I like the vest and pants? Or, you know, like, again, just sort of continually asking yourself, what is it about this that appeals to me? Do I think that I would enjoy wearing that? Not thinking about, can I pull it off or will it look good on me? Because that can come later. Can I pull it off comes with confidence. You can pull off literally anything that you want to wear. And will it look good on me is just about fit. And buying clothes that fit you. Don't look at the number. Don't look at the size. It doesn't matter. It just needs to fit. And being able to sew really helps with that a lot because you can, again, manipulate clothes to fit you ideally. Even, like, I am not super small, but I'm not plus sized either. And finding clothes that fit me perfectly is still really hard. And so I end up buying things and like altering them to fit the way that I like my clothes to fit. Again, it feels like a really intimidating hobby to get into, but there's so many tutorials out there that there's a lot of help. Now I'm just scrolling Pinterest on stream. That's what I'm doing. Like, these are really cool. Hello? I might save this. Save. I think Michael literally owns this jacket. And there's a way to do it that's like, again, sort of more minimalist, simplistic, I guess. All right, I got on a tangent. What is my next point? Yeah, so let's go back to the screen. Something that I have heard other people who are really into fashion say is you have to experiment and you have to be willing to look bad. Bad is objective, obviously. Nope. Bad is subjective. That's what I meant to say. Bad is subjective, obviously, but it's sort of whatever your own definition of that is. But you have to be willing to like experiment and have it go wrong. For every 4 good outfits, there's like 1 that, you know, you mess up. If you're not looking bad like a third of the time, I saw somebody say this. It was like during Fashion Week or something, and it was something that came across my feed where they were like, if you don't look bad a third of the time, you're not experimenting enough. I think a third is a lot, but a lot of the outfits that I wore when I was younger, I was really thankful that I was like really experimental because nobody was really looking at that time. But like, you know, if you're going to the grocery store, try something out, see what happens. It's the only way you're going to figure out like what you like and what looks good on you, and they're not all going to hit, and that's fine. You would wear that? That's funny. My main takeaway for so far has been start using Pinterest. Yeah, again, Pinterest is like any media, you kind of get what you put in. But the nice thing about Pinterest versus like searching for images somewhere else is that like you really can just plug in like bunny aesthetic and you're probably going to get outfits out of that, or vampire aesthetic, or, you know, cottagecore, academia, book outfits, like word outfit, and you're going to get stuff and start like getting thoughts for what other people have done and seeking that inspiration from things. It's like really good vibe generator, and then you can kind of take that in and start thinking about how you want to incorporate it yourself, or literally just mimicking what other people are doing, and then eventually it'll kind of like develop into your own thing. Nobody's original. I look the way that I do because I started mimicking people that I admire. If you look up Jam from Mad Med, if I had red streaks in my hair, this is what she would look like. And I really love the way that she looks, so I try to mimic that. And, you know, other idols that I like have obviously influenced me that way as well. If you like certain video game characters, I think I said this earlier, but you can also draw inspiration from that. It's like, why can't I look like, I don't know, what's a video game? Have I ever played a video game before? Everyone starts as a beginner. Yes, exactly. Have to be willing to look objectively bad. Damn. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same thing if you're starting to dance, right? You have to be willing to be bad before you can be good. If you want to start painting, you have to be willing to make a bunch of bad paintings before it starts to get good. It's the same thing with any skill. The only thing holding you back is you. The only thing holding you back is you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look like Master Chief. I bet. Hold on. Master Chief fashion. That's so funny. It's just a bunch of tech wear. That's what I'm saying, though. Okay, wait. Here, I'll show you. I won't just look at it without you. Okay, but am I wrong? Look at this. You get people making fan art of what Master Chief would look like casually. And, like, what that looks like. This is cool as hell. Link? Are you telling me you want to look like Link? I want to look like Nyan Nyan Kamen? Yeah. Dress me like a Castlevania character? Honestly, yeah. Ready? Castlevania outfits. Okay? You know what I mean? This is just a cosplay of Zack Fair from Final Fantasy. But you know, you pick and choose. Hello? Why don't I look like this? Why is this not what I look like? You know what I mean? Gruff, that's what I'm saying. Those clothes? Wait, let me go back to Master Chief. Castlevania does have a lot. I mean, it's just like goth vampire fashion. These clothes are cool. I'd wear a lot of this too. Like, this is cool. That's like what's nice about Pinterest is that it's just like basically an aesthetic mood board generator. I don't know. I kind of fear what Minecraft is gonna say, but I kind of want to look. Those are goals. I know. Okay, wait. Hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. This stream is making me realize I'm still scared in a lot of ways that I didn't even realize. And honestly, I really get it. Like, I still get nervous to dress the way that I want to sometimes, and a lot of times, like, I'm not really meeting where I want to be. But, like, what is it? Courage is being afraid and doing it anyway. Like, it's not the absence of fear. Kind of hard, I'm telling you. This is really cute. I'd wear this too. I like these shoes. I love chunky shoes. I love shoes with huge soles. I think it makes any outfit. Let me tell you, I have Crocs that are platform Crocs. They have a huge sole, and they make outfits cooler because they have a huge sole. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Is there a Steve outfit on here? I'm not seeing Steve. Why are we all trying to look like creepers? What's like another video game? Ooh, let's try. We're just. Maybe I need to start experimenting a bit more. And I really like your style, David. Like, I think it's really, you have like a lot of really cool pieces. And I think you could really, like, like you have a really good foundation and understanding of like what you like, it seems like to me, at least based off of what I've seen from you. Like this is really cool. We just have like Dark Souls cosplay, but like, you know, I think that's part of it. You're welcome. The other thing that I really wanted to talk about, because this is something that I also am kind of, unfortunately, passionate about. I feel like Mass Effect would be pretty similar to Master Chief now. I just keep getting distracted by. Ooh, Rosalina is a good one. Yeah, it's like sort of the same. A lot of like tech wear, unnecessary belts and straps. I love Kingdom Hearts. I want to look like a Kingdom Hearts character. That's my goal. Is taking care of your clothes. Sorry, I finished a sentence that I started 3 minutes ago. Something that I really care a lot about is taking care of your clothes. I have clothes that I bought at Kohl's over 10 years ago that I still have. I think because I've really tried to take care of them. It doesn't happen every time, but as long as it happens more often than not, it's really important. So like, for example, the dryer is like the worst thing you could do to your clothes. I really hate to tell you this, but it is. The extreme heat, anything that's screen printed like this, even your regular t-shirts, that's why they crack and fade, is because of the heat of the dryer. So if you can, I get it. Energy is really hard. We don't always have the time or the energy to hang clothes. Getting like a clothing rack. I'll show you the one I have. It's in this closet. Something like this, right? It just expands. I hang all my clothes on it. It goes away, right? Really is a game changer. I will say, again, it doesn't happen every time, but it's the same sort of mentality as exercising, where like every day you're exercising, even if you're not doing it every day, like any movement is good movement. So it's the same thing when you're taking care of things. Like the less amount of time things are existing in the dryer, the better. Stuff that stays really close to your skin, things like undershirts, you know, undergarments, pajamas, things like that, are good to put in the dryer because the heat disinfects them. That's like part of the appeal of it. But stuff that's more like fashion clothes, stuff like this, most clothes do not need to be in the dryer. And so if you hang dry them, they will last so much longer because it's not putting stress on the seams. You're going to get a lot less holes in your clothes. Imagine living somewhere where the air dry things. Not to be like, where do you live? But inside should be fine. Even if you have high humidity, it will happen. The winter is really hard because it's cold and so things dry a lot slower. I really get it. The summer is a great time to do it because everything's a lot warmer. If you have an outdoor space where you can put it in the sun, that's even better because, again, that heat and the sun will disinfect your clothes. So if you're worried about like cleanliness, that's great. Things like sweaters, you should not hang up. You should fold them even in your closet because they'll stretch out and over time. I keep them folded like literally on the floor in my closet. But same thing with drying them, lay them out. Things that are like quite wet when they come out, you can like roll them in a towel. There's a lot of tips for like making clothes last a long time, but especially, you know, in sort of this era of overconsumption and like trying to save money, doing little things to help your clothes last longer and look good for a long period of time really will save you a lot of money. Mississippi River Valley, like a swamp out here. That is tough. Yeah, because of the print. Like, you know, something like this, if it like cracks a little bit, will be fine because it's like kind of part of the aesthetic. But I still want it to last a really long time, so I don't do that. If you have a washer, which I do, that is a top loader, that like agitator that's in the middle is also kind of bad for your clothes, because your clothes are just like rubbing against it all the time. If you have things that are more delicate, you can get a like garment bag for them. It's like a mesh bag that you can put it in that like protects like hardware. I actually don't really do that, but it is quite good for them, for your clothes. And what was the other thing I was going to say about this? Oh, this might be difficult, and you know, you guys can take this with whatever you want, like whatever capacity you would like to. All of your clothes do not need to be washed every time you wear them. Okay, this is very nuanced statement. Please wash your clothes. However, things that aren't touching your skin, so like let's say you're wearing a button-up shirt. First of all, you should be wearing an undershirt under your button-up shirt just in general. It's, you know, just the structure of it is better. It'll look smoother. It'll be more comfortable to wear, truly. So if you're wearing a t-shirt underneath of a button-up and your armpits, like you don't sweat that much, you don't really need to wash that because it's not really touching your skin very much, but you can wash that undershirt. And again, the less time you're putting your clothes through that process, it is going to make your clothes last a lot longer. Jeans do not need to be washed every time. Again, if you're like sweating a lot in them, please wash your clothes. But like, you know, use it with some nuance. This type of shirt, again, is not really like touching sweaty areas of me very much, especially if I'm wearing a shirt underneath of it. Doesn't need to be washed every time. Smell your clothes. Is it smelly? You could probably get another wear out of it. You're welcome. I have freed you from laundry. No. Garment bag does someone get in the way of cleaning sometimes, though. It does. It depends on the thing. Stuff that's a little more fragile, you can also get dry cleaned, but that's like a whole thing. Dry cleaning is not as expensive as you think it is most of the time. But that's really only if you're buying like pretty expensive clothes that you want to make sure you're really taking care of. Not if you're in the Caribbean, I guess. I probably overwash clothes. I really was in the habit of doing that too, but it'll wear them down over a period of time. Part of like why I like wearing like tank tops and layers underneath of my clothes, especially in winter, is because like I don't have to wash the outer layer as much. Historically, that's what people did. So, you know, underneath those like fancy dresses or like even like men's clothes to a certain extent, they would wear like a linen dress over top of or underneath of their corset that was like against their skin, and they would wash that every day. Not every day, but almost every day. But those outer layers of clothes were never really touching those areas and weren't getting dirty, so you don't have to unless you're like rolling around in the mud, you know. Different times of year, so like right now in the winter, I know, you know, you're not really like in the sun, you're not running around as much, you know. Just think about like, oh, which of these clothes could probably withstand that. Don't push it. Please wash your clothes. But just something to think about. Especially if you're like starting to invest in your wardrobe, you really want to like make sure that your clothes are going to last. Look at the washing instructions on them. Should you wash it in heat or cold? That's the other thing. I wash. There are varying opinions on this. I wash almost everything, again, that doesn't need to be like disinfected. So like underclothes, pajamas, t-shirts and tank tops and stuff on cold. The heat is so bad for your clothes. It's just gonna like make them wear down, and your clothes are gonna break down over time. But washing things on cold like really prevents things from bleeding. It technically does not give your clothes as intense of a wash, but if you're using a decent laundry soap and not overloading your washer, you'll be fine. But follow the care instructions on your clothes. Usually it'll tell you like on the tag, wash and warm, wash and cold, and just like follow those instructions. Yeah, everything on cold. Yeah, it's the way that I do it. I also have to pay for laundry, so like the most economical way I can do it is ideal. Okay, I think those were all of my notes. We got like an hour and a half out of that. Does anybody have any like notes or questions or things that they want to chat about in terms of this? I love fashion. I think it's just such a fun way to show the world who you are, even if that changes from day to day. It certainly does for me. Um, you never are bound to one particular thing. Obviously, it can be kind of expensive to have more than one style, but I think it's just fun. It's just like fun to look cool, even if like looking cool to you is like wearing a cool T-shirt you bought at a con and like a nice fitting pair of jeans. Like, I don't know, it just makes you feel good. Modern detergents don't need heat anymore to work at all. Oh, is that why that like is a thing? Because like in the past they needed that heat to activate. Yeah. I use well, it was a whole thing. The last time I ordered from them, it got stolen off of my doorstep. But I used to use, and I'm going to order them again after I'm done with what I currently have. The company Drops for both dishwasher and laundry detergent. They're like a zero waste company. All their packaging comes in cardboard packaging. And you can have it be like recurring. My last shipment of them got stolen off of my doorstep, but that's fine. And it's like slightly more expensive than just buying that stuff at the store, but it's better for you. It's better for your clothes. I get the unscented stuff because I just don't need scents on my clothes, and I don't know. The chemicals I think irritate my skin. Dryer sheets are a scam. If you really need static stuff, just use like a dryer ball. Fabric softener is a scam. These are my opinions. I'm not a doctor, but these are my opinions. I'm looking at making a patchwork shirt since I had fun with my patchwork jeans last year. Any suggestions for ideas? You know what? You could go to like a thrift store and get, my favorite place to buy fabric is the thrift store in the sheets section and like blankets. I feel like you can find like really cool fabrics and a lot of fabric to make something or alter something. But even like finding like a few cool t-shirts and patchworking them together would be a really cool idea. But like challenging yourself to find stuff like in a single store would be like kind of fun. But I always like looking at the blankets and like sheets and curtains and things like that. There's always like some cool fabrics in there. What do you do if you're always super hot? Not like attractive, but like temperature wise and a lot of layers makes you sweaty and gross. So a lot of that, well, okay, it's nuanced as most things are. But a lot of that actually has to do with what the fabric of the clothes are. So things that have a higher polyester blend or higher synthetic blends will make you overheat a lot faster than things like natural fabrics. So like, again, historically, people would wear wool in the summer because it actually would like absorb sweat and keep you from overheating. And also like thin wools will keep you a lot cooler than things like a polyester shirt. There's a YouTuber whose name is Abby Cox who did a video where they literally took like a temperature gun and wore like 19 different, I think it was like early 1900 clothing and modern clothes, like yoga pants and a t-shirt, and their body temperature was lower in like the full gown, like long sleeves than it was in like modern wear. That's not like really a solution to your problem. I'm just saying that like fabric content makes a big difference. Aside from that, I think like comfort in having looser fitting clothes, which can be difficult to find things sometimes that like are fitted that way. But even if you don't wear a lot of layers, it's a really interesting point. You know, stuff like this that like sits further away from your body generally is gonna go better for things like that. See, the problem is that I'm always cold. Very seldom am I too hot. And if you're wearing layers, you can always take things off. So I feel like that's kind of my best advice for things like that. Thin layers, like thin cotton t-shirts, But, when I lived in Arizona, they talked a lot about how, like, kind of similarly to what I was saying, sometimes like wearing a layer versus like wearing a tank top or a long sleeve shirt will actually keep you cooler in the long run. Because a lot of times people would go hiking in the middle of the desert in the summer. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And one of the downfalls is they would take off a lot of their clothes and they would be exposed to there's more of their skin would be exposed to their sun, which actually makes you warmer, versus like if you actually had those layers on, it feels not as like cooling, but it will keep you cooler overall and make you sweat less, just because less of your skin is touching the sun. There's kind of like a line with that, obviously, but again, like sort of something to think about in terms of like what works for that. Yeah, people are insane. They would have to get like life flighted off of the mountains and stuff. I have a vague idea of what I want to try on. I guess it's just a matter of finding and affording them. Yeah, buying things secondhand. I really like the app Mercari. There's a lot of people who sell like fashion from overseas. It's really tough though. I really prefer to buy clothes in person personally. But it's hard. It's just like not always an option. Buying things secondhand makes it a lot easier. Different types of stores will often have different things. If you're ever traveling, looking at thrift stores there, like the Goodwills around me kind of suck, but Goodwills in other areas are quite good. Looking at different types of thrift stores, looking at antique stores, or antique malls rather. A lot of times antique malls have like clothing sellers, and it's like kind of fun to look through and see what they have. I'm trying to think of like other solutions to the expensive problem. Like building a wardrobe takes a really long time. I have built my wardrobe over the last 15 years. A lot of the clothes I've had for that period of time. Trying to rush it and trying to just like spend a bunch of money is never going to be the solution, right? So you just have to kind of be willing to be patient and like alter stuff and like think like, what can I do with the stuff I already have? While you're building things. Cons, a lot of times, there are so many good clothing sellers at cons now. There are some people who sell like quite cheap clothes that are bad, but like in like Artist Alley, there's a lot of cool sweaters. There's a lot of really cool t-shirts. There's like people selling patterned button-ups now that are fun. Like cool J fashion inspired things. If you're ever at conventions, like looking around the Artist Alley and being like, and a lot of times, first of all, supporting a small business, we love that. Second of all, a lot of times if you want something specific, like they'll work with you. You know what I mean? So, or like if you need a certain size, they'll like find it for you. You'll get like a better experience than like a store. I can't even figure out my sizes. I know sizing is such, even measuring yourself and doing sizes that way, it's like not a surefire way. It's really frustrating. Most of my wardrobe is from Artist Alley. Yeah, I really get it. What should I try when I'm required to have exposed shoulders at all events? Oh, you've really put yourself in a trap, Solemn, haven't you? I feel like this is like sort of a joke, but also kind of not. I feel like you could wear like a cool vest. Do you know what I mean? Like get all like dapper with it, but just not wear an undershirt. That would be really fun. Like you have the sort of like workout aesthetic, which is cool. And like some of the printed tank tops and stuff, which like you should not lose. I think it's like quite iconic. But cool pants are always something you can experiment with, like different tech wear pants that have lots of pockets and shit, or like, stuff hanging off of them. You can still lift people in the air with that. But I think if there was like a time where you, again, got kind of dapper with it, that would be like a really fun treat. Hi, Alex. Last Friday was your birthday. Yes, happy belated birthday. Did you do anything fun? I unironically love sweater vests. I love sweater vests. I have like 3 of them. And I wear them to work all the time. Because you can like layer them so many different ways. It can go femme, it can go mask. Again, it kind of like gives that like librarian academia look, which I really like. Wearing like a short sleeve button up under it, wearing like another sweater under it, wearing a blouse under it. I love sweater vests. They're so cute. Lots of belt and chains, of course. More belts, more chains. Again, I want to look like a Kingdom Hearts characters. LOL. No undershirt vest. I don't know, like, what do muscle guys, cool workout muscle men wear? Sleeveless outfit men. See, this is what I'm saying. That man just doesn't have arms. That's not quite what we're looking for. Nomura is peak. Yes, sweater vests were my personality in high school. I love that, unironically. Here, wait, let's... These are, kind of what one would call... like e-boy leaning outfits for sure. Let me tell you that sometimes Pinterest has like a real bias. Here, you could just wear this. But hey, you know, there's like different... This is a really cool vest. I'm not saying you should wear it, but I think it's really cool. There's a lot of options out there. There's like a real vibe happening on this Pinterest page right now. This is actually amusingly close to plan. I have something. Ooh, I'm excited. You ate vanilla cake? I love it. I love cake. Cake is one of my favorite things. I was going to say F-boy. That was also what I was going to say, but I was trying to find a different way to say that. But hey, unironically, I kind of like that style. Like to wear even. You know? It's okay to just like kind of be into the aesthetic of things and not be toxic about it, you know? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Nemo's in his bed chilling. Nice. Okay. I think I'm going to call stream there. I hope you guys feel a little bit of inspiration. A little bit of inspiration, or felt like you got something out of this. Again, even if you're not really looking to change up your style too much, I think it's just fun to experiment, try new things, and not feel like you have to look a certain way in any direction, you know? You only get one life. You only get one life. Well, I guess unless you believe in reincarnation, but like probably in the next life, I don't know. If there will be like cool clothes, the earth might be in some trouble. So you might as well take advantage of it now. You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for asking questions and being engaged. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun talking about this stuff, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to stream soon. Like I said, I really would like to figure out a way to do like art in game streams again. I'd kind of like my streams on this channel to remain like focused on like idling and like this stuff I've been talking about. I like doing stuff like this, like talking about my thoughts on things that like maybe I would do a video on, but like I kind of just want to ramble about it. Life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. You know that there's gonna be... That's a Hannah Montana song, right? A Hannah Montana comeback. I definitely have way more ideas for stuff, planning on taking inspo from the thrift store. Yeah! If you find any cool stuff, you should post it on the internet so that I can see it. You can turn notifications on for my lives. There's a way to do that. Anytime I make the little like preview thing, if you're looking on YouTube, you can have it remind you. And I also post the links on Twitter and Instagram. I should have some exciting stuff coming up performance-wise. So if you're interested and in the Northeast, please check that out. I'm also hosting with my lovely fellow idols, Aiden and Michael, Idol Gateway in 2 weeks if you're in the DC area. Otherwise, please keep an eye out for some fun, exciting things upcoming. And I'll definitely stream again soon. And I'm working on some video stuff. I'm feeling really good about like YouTube things this year. So I hope you're excited for it. Yeah, no, that's fair. I understand. I'm happy to have you here. Hee 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 hee. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your week. I almost forgot what I say at the end of stream. Sun, stars in the sky. I'm Alex Pinku. Goodbye.